Good morning, friends. Now today we will see the strain energy. Notice strain energy and how it is stored in a body, that we will first see. First thing, when we see that is any component, when it is applied with a load, we say that there is a elongation or there is a deformation. The deformation we can say delta over the length L. When we release, if it obeys the Hooke's law, that is stress is directly proportional to strain, we say in that case when the load is released, again it comes back to its original shape. Our original shape, that is, you can say length L. Now whenever a body is strained, we say there is an elongation. This elongation, or when a body is strained, the energy is absorbed by the body. That is, work is being done. We can say work done. So in that case, that work done is nothing but the elongation or the stretching of the bar, and that energy is absorbed by the body. The energy which is absorbed by the body due to the straining effect is known as the strain energy. So now we have first understood that first we have seen P is equal to sigma by A, epsilon is equal to delta L by L. Now we are coming again using this equation, we are coming to the strain energy. Now in this case we have to see, when we go for the straining the body, there are three types of load. That is one we have seen, I think, in the previous lecture. When we say the types of load, in that we can say that is the gradually applied load. Second is, we can say the suddenly applied load. And third is the impact load. Now when we are doing the standard test, we are using that is the gradually applied load, and whatever the relations that we have seen are true, that is sigma is equal to P by A, or sigma is proportional, or sigma is equal to E into epsilon, that is the Hooke's law, that is within the elastic limit. Now we have to see what is the gradual effect of the gradually applied load, because when we go for testing, we say that is when a body is stretched in a UTM, we say that the load is applied gradually, or the load, we can say, increases in steps, and in that we say that is the failure of the component takes, that is a structure where we can say it is forming a neck, and that neck formation again we can say that is, we calculate what is the percentage elongation or the percentage deformation in the element. Now we have to see when the same element, when the same bar is applied with a suddenly applied load. What is suddenly applied load? We can say that is when a sudden load is applied on a body. We are increasing gradually load. Here we are seeing now the first load is at 100 Newton. The second load is, we can say, 1000 Newton. The third load is 3000 Newton. So that is, we can say, a suddenly applied load. Now in that case, the stress developed will not be same. It will be varying. That we'll see when we go for, that is the suddenly applied load. The third is the impact load. What is impact load, or what is the effect of that? We will see when we go for the derivation for finding what is the relation between the strain energy that is being stored in the impact load. All the, why I can say these are the all the three practical. Impact load we can say that is when a weight falls from a particular height on an element. We can say in that case a collar where we can say a weight W falls from a height H. There will be impact, that is called the impact load, where we can say what will be stress in the element. Now before going for the basic three conditions or the three applications, we have to go for that is the different definitions that we know, that we should know in the strain energy. First is the resilience. What is resilience? Is the total energy, total strain energy stored in a body is known as resilience. Whenever the straining force is removed within the elastic limit which the body is capable of doing work, and it is said that is, or we can say the resilience can be defined as capacity of a strained body for doing work. Capacity of a body means a strained body of doing a work after removal of the load. That is what is the, when we say that is removal of the load within the elastic limit, that is called the resilience. So these are the definitions we should know when we go for that is the resilience. Second is the proof resilience. What is proof resilience? The maximum strain energy. Proof resilience is the maximum strain energy. The maximum strain energy stored in a body is known as proof resilience. So as per what will be the maximum strain energy that will be stored, we can say it may be the elastic limit. Beyond the elastic limit there is no, we can say that is the work done will be less because it is stretching beyond the elastic limit. So we can say the proof maximum strain energy stored in the body will be up to the elastic limit. So in this case the stretch energy will be maximum when the body is stretched up to the elastic limit. Again we can say that the proof resilience will be the point where we can say that is the elastic limit will be considered for a body. And proof resilience is the quantity of strain energy stored in a body when strained up to elastic limit. We can say that is the proof resilience. Now next we can say is the modulus of resilience. These are the standard definitions you can see in the book. It will be given in that case. Is defined as the proof resilience of a material per unit volume. Proof resilience of a material per unit volume. That is, we can say the modulus of resistance, or we can say proof resilience divided by the volume of the element or volume of the body. So these are the standard, we can say that is the definitions which will be required when we go for the strain energy. Now first we will be seeing the expression for strain energy stored in a body when it is applied and when the load is applied gradually. So we can say in that case whatever the equation that we have seen. So what is the condition in that case? The strain energy on the bodies is equal to the work done by the applied load in stretching the body. The figure shows the load extension diagram. We can say in this case the load versus the extension. Is nothing but we can say stress versus the strain diagram. So in that case we can say the figure shows the load extension diagram when it is under a tensile load up to the elastic limit. So we are considering only the elastic limit. The tensile load P increases, we can say P increases gradually from 0 to P, and the extension of the material increases from 0 to x. We can say that is x is the length for a particular, that is the delta, the extension of the material in a body. Now we have to see that is the load. We can say that is the load P versus the extension, or we can say deformation. So in that case we can say let this be the point, we can say M, and N be the point where we get that is the maximum, that is the extension of the element, and let x be the length, and let P will be the force that is acting on the element is P, load is P. So we can say in that case let this point be K, where the load is maximum. Now the load P performs work in stretching the body, that is the body is being stretched. The work will be stored in the body as strain energy, which is recoverable after P is removed within the elastic limit. That's why we are considering here that is the elastic limit of the element. Now we have to derive a small derivation for this. We can say the same. We can consider that is the space-time diagram will be there, where we will be seeing that is 0, N, M, or we can say let it be K here, here it is the P, here it is we can say X, the extension. Now let capital P be the gradually applied load. P be the gradually applied load. X be the extension of the bar, or we can extension of the material. A be the cross section area. A be the cross section area. L be the length of the body or bar. V be the volume of the body. E be the Young's modulus of material. U be the strain energy. U be the strain energy stored in the body, and sigma be the stress in the body. Now when we consider from the basics, what is the work done? Work done by the body. What is the work done by the body? Work done by the load. What is the work done by the load? It is nothing but whatever the graph that we have seen. In that case, let this be the x, let this be P, M, N, or we can say that is sigma and epsilon. So what is work done by the load will be area, this area under the curve will be the work done by the, or the shaded area will be the, so we can say it is the area under the shaded portion. So it is, we can say that is 1/2 P into x. As it is a triangle, we can say that is 1/2 P into x. Let this be equation 1. Now here that is, what is P? P is equal to, from the basics, P is equal to sigma into A. That is, sigma is equal to P by A. Similarly, the extension x. What will be extension x? Is equal to sigma by E into L. That is, we can say extension x What is the extension? X is equal to strain into epsilon into length. What is epsilon? Sigma by E into L. That is the basic equation from which we are getting the equation. Now substitute the value of P and X in equation 1. Substitute the value of P and X in equation. What we get? We get work done by the body or the load is equal to 1/2 sigma into A into X is sigma by E into L. So what we get? 1/2 sigma square by E A into L. That is nothing but 1/2. What is A into L is 1/2 sigma square by E into V. That is the volume. That is the, we can say, the work done or by the strain energy stored in a body. So we have, that is, the work done by the load in stretching body is equal to the strain energy. So we can say here this will be equal to capital U, because WD is equal to, work done is equal to the strain energy stored in the body. So we are getting the equation for U is equal to 1/2 sigma square by E into V, where V is equal to, so we can find what is the proof resistance, we can find what is the moment, the modulus of resistance will be sigma square by 2 in E, and modulus of resistance will be sigma square by 2E into V. So these are the, we can say, standard, that is the formula for the, now this is just a equation for the strain energy. When we have seen that is the strain energy is, or the load is applied, is gradually applied load. So this is the basic equation. So if you want to find, that is the proof resilience in the body, we can say what is proof resilience is, proof resilience is equal to sigma star square by 2E into V, where sigma star is the, we can say, the stress at the elastic limit. Similarly, if you want to find the modulus of resilience, we can say in that case what is strain energy per unit volume. So we can say it will be sigma square by 2E. So these are the two general equations for the gradually applied load. Now if you want to go for a suddenly applied load, now if you consider suddenly applied load, in that case we can say when load is applied suddenly to a body, the load is constant throughout the process of deformation of the body. Now in that case, let the bar be, we can say in that case, be having, that is the same. We can say in that case, let P be the load applied, X be the extension, A be the cross sectional area, L be the length, V be the volume, E be the Young's modulus of elasticity, U be the strain, and sigma be the stress. Now when we go for that, what happens in that case? If the load is applied suddenly, what will happen? There will be extension. The same thing will happen, that is, we can say, in the element. But we have to see now in this case, when the load is applied suddenly, the load P is constant and the work done again will be same. That is, what will be work done in this case will be, we will get the same bar. There will be extension. The extension of the bar will be there, and work done will be equal to, we can say in that case will be load into extension. Where it is load, we can say that is P into E or P into X. Same as the previous case. So what will be the strain energy stored in the body? U will be equal to 1/2 sigma square by E into V. Now in this case, again we will go for differentiation 1 upon 2 sigma square E into A into L. Now equating the strain energy equation in the body to the work done. So in this case we are equating the strain energy equation to the work done. So when we go for that, we can say work done is equal to U. What is work done by the element? We can say is work done is P into X. Strain energy is 1 upon 2 sigma square E into A into L. So we can say when we go for the simplification, we can say in that case sigma square upon 2E A into L is equal to, or if you go for that is what is P, substituting value of P, sigma into A. P sigma into A, or we can say that is what is P given, or P is, we can say that is P into sigma by E into L is equal to 1/2 sigma square by E A into L. So if you cancel, that is L in that case, cancelling sigma by E into L, sigma by EL into 1 sigma by E into L, what we get? P, or we can, that is P is equal to sigma by 2 into A, or what is P by A? We can say in that case P by A is equal to sigma by 2. What is P by A? We can say sigma is equal to sigma by 2. What does this mean? Sigma is equal to sigma by, or we can say sigma is equal to 2 sigma. We can say in that case sigma is equal to 2 sigma. What does it indicate? If we take this as 2PA, we get in that case sigma is equal to 2 sigma. What does it indicate? From the above equation, it is clear that the maximum stress induced is due to suddenly applied load is twice the stress induced in a gradually applied load. So we have to see that this is an important case when we go for, after obtaining the value of sigma, the values of extension X and the strain energy can be calculated easily. So we can say that when we go for a gradually applied load, we can say sigma, whatever stress is there, we can say U is equal to 1/2 sigma square by E into V. Whereas when we go for the suddenly applied load, we can say U is equal to, here the sigma will be twice sigma. So we get that is the value will be twice. Whatever the value that we are getting for the strain energy will be twice in this case. So these are the two things that we have to consider when we go for that is a. So this is simple example for a gradually applied load and a suddenly applied load. Now when we go for the expression, we have to see what are the things that we have to consider in this case. What is a gradually applied load and suddenly applied. On UTM we have that is a gradually applied load. What is the example of suddenly applied load? We can say example of a force that is being applied on a piston, which is sudden. When we say when the ignition starts, it is a sudden load that is being applied. So what is deformation? So these things are to be considered when we go for solving the numericals for the strain energy, depending on, or we have to go for the simulating the actual conditions when we go for any practical applications. So these will be the things that we have to consider for the. Now third is the case when we go for a impact loading. What is impact loading? We have seen in that case when we go for impact loading, a simple example is there when we can consider that is a bar which has a collar at the end, and we can say a mass, we can say the load, this will be load that falls resistance height h. What will happen when the weight falls? There will be slight deformation in the element. We can say in that case that will be a delta. We can say that will be delta will be the deformation. Now we have to see what will be the effect of the impact when the load is applied. This is simple example that we can say for a suddenly applied load. Now what does the figure show? A load dropped from a certain height, yes. When it commences to the collar, we say that there is a extension. Now let the load be dropped from height h. We can say that height h on the collar, due to which the impact will be there on the collar and there will be extension of the bar. Now here again also we can say let P be the load. Let P be the load. Let, we can say in this case, let L be the length, P be the load, L be the length, A be the cross section area of the bar, L the length, then we have that is V volume of the bar, H the height from which particular that is load is dropped, we have delta L, that is the extension of the bar, E is the Young's modulus of the material, and sigma is the stress that is induced in the body. So when we go for solving this, we have to see that what is the effect of the, now in strain in the bar. What is strain in the bar? The strain in the bar is given by epsilon is equal to sigma by E. Or what is epsilon? Delta by L is equal to sigma by E. Or we have that is delta L is equal to sigma by E into L. Now these are the formulas which we can apply according to your requirement. Now when we go for the work done by the body or load will be load into distance. So what is load? Load is P. What is the distance in that case? We can say H plus delta L. That is the work done we are getting in this equation. Now if you have to find the strain energy U, what will be strain energy U is equal to sigma square by 2E into V. Standard equation for that is the, where we have that is sigma square upon 2E A into L. That is the equation for the strain energy stored in the body. Now if we equate work done equal to the strain energy, what we get in that case? What is the work done? We have seen work done is P H plus delta L is equal to sigma square by 2E A into L. The same equation we are equating here. So if we solve the equation, we get that is PH plus P into sigma delta L, we are getting sigma by E into L is equal to sigma square by 2E A into L. Now if you go for finding the equation in terms of the equation, what we get? PH minus, we'll get a equation or we'll get a equation. So we can say solving the sigma square by 2E AL minus P into sigma by E into L plus PH is equal to 0. This is the equation that we are getting after rearranging the terms. Now multiply we are multiplying by 2E by AL on both the sides. So we get after that multiply by 2E by AL on the equation. So we get in that case, what is the change we are getting in this case is, or the equation that we are getting is, according to the equation, sigma square minus 2p by A into sigma minus 2p E H divided by AL is equal to 0. This is a quadratic equation in sigma. Quadratic equation in sigma. So find the two roots for sigma. So we get in that case, after substituting each equation, we get that is sigma is equal to, or P by A 1 plus under root 1 plus 2EAH divided by P into L. This is the equation, that is, knowing the values of sigma, strain energy in the body can be calculated. So this is the equation. You can see that is for solving the numerical in case of the, for each of the case. We are neglecting, there will be two roots plus or minus, so we are neglecting the negative root and finding the positive root, that is, after substituting the positive root we get that is the equation for the solving the numerical. So this is just a simple example, or we can say that these are the three formulas that we have seen. When the load is gradually applied, we can say U is equal to 1 upon 2E sigma square V, that is strain energy. When we go for the suddenly applied load, sigma is equal to 2 sigma, and the third suddenly applied load, sigma is equal to E by A into 1 plus root of 1 plus 2EAH divided by AL. So that these are the three formulas for three conditions. So we have to see that these are the formula that we will be using for solving. We will see a numerical in the next class, and then conclude the further, that is the first unit for the application. So these are the things that we have to see when we go for the effect of the suddenly applied load and the gradually applied load. Thank you.